All right, so let's move on and start our discussion on organohalides. Organohalides are anything that has a carbon X bond, where X is going to be a halogen, right? So it could be fluorine, chlorine, bromine, or iodine. Overall, fluorine is going to be very rare. The carbon-fluorine bond is very strong, and so that makes it highly unreactive and thus not really all that useful for organic synthesis. This is what Teflon is made out of, basically chains of these carbon-fluorine bonds, right? And you think of Teflon, you think of non-stick and non-reactive, right? So organohalides can be any type of carbon, so they could be like an sp3 carbon, an sp2 carbon, or even an sp3 carbon. And similar to our carbocations, these organohalides can be methyl, they can be primary, they can be secondary, or they can be tertiary. Let's go ahead and do the nomenclature of organohalides, not too complicated. So basically it gets the prefix chloro, bromo, iodo, or fluoro. So something like this. We see that we have 4 carbons, so that's butane. And then we have a chlorine on the second carbon. So this would be 2-chlorobutane. Something like this, right? We see the bromine is on number 1, right? You always want a number with the smallest number. So this would be 1-bromopropane, right? There's only 3 carbons here. Of course, we could also introduce some stereocenters. In which case, this molecule right here would be 3s. Right? Remember to count with the smallest number. So 1, 2, 3. And that iodine is S. So 3s iodohexane. My bad, I meant to make that an H. With the methyl, it's actually pretty much the same. And so in this case, we have a methyl substituent and a fluoro substituent. The halogens get preference, right? So we don't count 1, 2 over here. We count with the halogen receiving the smallest number. And so we say have 5 carbons here, so that's going to be pentane. And so we see the fluorine is on the second carbon, so it's going to be 2-fluoro. 4-methyl pentane. And that's pretty much it for nomenclature of these organohalides, not too complicated.